All right, good morning. Dele Ayimibo here. We are on to another edition of the import-export platform, and we've started discussing transiting from paid employment to self-employment in export business. We started with preamble. We discussed the product, discussed the prospect. Yesterday we talked about the process, and this morning we will be discussing the problems. What's interesting about export in Nigeria, and probably in a number of other parts of the world, is the fact that, of course, it's full of problems and challenges. And those problems and challenges are not peculiar to Nigeria. So we can't say because of that we're not going to export. But what we should do is to find a way around the challenges, to find solutions to the challenges that export poses to us as a nation. Currently, if you are in Lagos, Nigeria, you will notice that for over almost 2 years now, we've been having issue going to the port because the road is being fixed. And it's been a major challenge for people that intend to export from Nigeria. But what's interesting is the fact that people are still exporting. So I'm saying that, look, even though there's a challenge, that should not be a reason why we should not consider exporting. That should not be a reason why we should not consider exporting. Every business has its own challenge, especially in developing nations like Nigeria. Every business has its own challenge. So what we need to do is to look at the challenges and find a way around it. Because foreigners that are used to easy life, foreigners that are used to having infrastructure, road, good ports, water, power, come into Nigeria and thrive. They are used to having it, but they come into an environment where those things are scarce and they are able to thrive. And that's why more than 60% of Nigerian exporters are foreigners, and more than 60% of Nigerian importers are foreigners. And that's not my view, that's from a CBN official. More than 60% of Nigerian exporters are foreigners, 60% of Nigerian importers are foreigners. They grew up in an environment where things are easy and everything is okay, but they are still able to come into Nigeria where there are so much challenges and they're able to export. So today, I'll be talking about the challenges, but I will be spending more time on my opinion on how you can fix it. And I won't be looking at government, I'll be looking at you as an individual and what you need to do, what your perspective, and how you need to position yourself to be able to fix some of those challenges and be able to say export despite the challenges. Number one is the product. One of the challenges of exporting in Nigeria is product. When I mean product, I'm talking about product quality, product specification, product packaging, issues around product generally. So being able to get the right product, export the right product, getting the product to destination in the right form is a major challenge you need to contend with. Those doing commodity export, one of the major challenges they currently face is that if you are going to queue for days for the good to enter into the port, you can imagine what will happen to the product if it has to be inside the container heated under the sun. And that also explains the reason why Nigerian yam 2 or 3 years ago had issues. It's exactly the same reason why that yam had issues. Because the yam has to stay on the road for long, there's traffic, the container or wherever it is heated up, and before you get to the US, the stuff was already getting spoiling. So the next one is paperwork. You need to know what is called pre- and post-export documentation. Pre- and post-export documentation. Pre- and post-export documentation. So depending on the country where you are, for Nigeria, we have some document you need for pre and some document for post. Those are the things you need to learn about. For pre, you'll be looking at NXP, pro forma invoice, export license, certificate of incorporation, and the like. Then on the post, you'll be looking at the bill of lading, if it's shipping document, invoice and packing list. And on the exchange control document, that's the document you give to the bank as evidence you have exported. You'll be looking at document like what is called clean certificate of inspection, Nigerian Exports Supervision Scheme fee, custom endorsed NXP. I mean, these are documents that you need to get. Now, the truth is, it's easy to get these documents. They are not tough to get. You can get them at different agencies. I'll probably talking about them in other series in future. But just know that they are not rocket science, they are things you can get. So don't think it's a major issue for you to be able to get those documents. Another issue is payment. one of the major discouragements for export is payment or delay payment. Payment or delay payment. There are ways around this, but I'm just highlighting the problems, then I'll come back to the solution. Payment. Then people. You know, you can't do business without people. You have to work with people. And what I found out is there are great people in Nigeria, no doubt about it. I met great people in Nigeria, but I've also met very, very, very nasty people who doesn't have conscience, who will do everything just for money in Nigeria. So, and I think that's same in a lot of other parts of the world, you know. So you just need to find a way to be able to ensure you're able to sieve the serious people from the unserious people, the people telling lies or people saying the truth. This might involve you working with people who are in the field to be able to tell you the characteristics and how to identify those who will just come and waste your time or deceive you. Another issue is port and policy. Policy of government and the port itself. Like I said, currently our port is having issue, big issue. Then policy of government. We need a government that will be able to drive export with their policies, such that people will be encouraged to go into export business. Currently, we don't have that. I don't think the government are really taking export seriously the way they should. And I think any government that will be coming in newly for the new administration starting in June rather, should really take that very seriously. It's very, very important in this country that we begin to consider the need to be able to put up together policies that support and assist export. That will be more on the part of the government anyway. Packaging. Because as a people we have embraced some level of mediocrity, it has become very difficult, very, very difficult for many people to be able do that which is right as far as export is concerned in terms of packaging. Why? Mainly because this is the way they've been doing it. And people are buying that. If we are going to, people are trying to call me and it's affecting my network. So sorry for the break in transmission. Profit is another challenge. Some people are so keen about profit at the expense of success of the business. I've been talking about this for a while now. You know, the goal of a business, of course, is to be profitable, but the purpose of a business is to create value. If you focus on the purpose, you will achieve the goal. If you focus on the goal, most likely you will lose out on the purpose. And that means you are going to likely drop that business afterwards. Why? Because you are keen on just making profit at the expense of the business success. You are keen on just making profit at the expense of the business success. And that's very important. It's extremely important that you go beyond just profitability and begin to look at how you will be able to create value. You know why? Look at this chain. When you learn, you acquire skill. Through skill, you build competence. With competence, you solve problems. When you solve problems, you create value. When you create value, you attract wealth. I'll go over that again. The whole essence of learning is to acquire skill. Through your skill, you can build competence. Skill, I can do it. Competence, I have done it before. You build competence. With competence, you can solve problems. When you solve problems, you create value. When you create value, you attract wealth. So the goal of any business you're doing should be to create value. Because when you create value, you inevitably attract purchasing power from anywhere in the world. So as much as possible, don't be carried away with the profitability, because some people will start the business, they are not profitable at the beginning and they drop it. It's very unwise, really. It's very, very unwise to start a business and because it's not profitable, you drop it. Because there is this thing called the bell curve. It goes down a little, you have a dip below your capital and then begin to come up. And a lot of big businesses in the world really talk about this. Dangote have talked about it before. A lot of other people have talked about it before. The fact that, look, when you start a business more often than not, because you are going to go through what is called the learning curve. Even when you have a mentor, you have someone to advise you, it just reduce how deep your learning curve will be. It just reduce it. It won't eliminate it completely. So as many as possible, don't focus on profit, even though the goal is profitability. Focus on creating value, and like I said, you inevitably attract wealth. Then processing. Processing also is another challenge of export. Remember, in this video, in this Facebook Live, in this conversation about transiting from paid employment to self-employment in export of goods or services, you should know For the export of goods, our focus is value-added goods. I've said it repeatedly that export of commodity is modern slavery. When you export commodity, you export job and import poverty. So anybody exporting commodity and stay with exportation of commodity is unwise. You can start with commodity export maybe to learn, but for me it's a lot of risk to learn really, because whereas you need millions, tons and tons of millions of naira to export commodity, you can actually export finished product with less than a million naira. So why not consider finished product? Why taking so much risk for a business you are just starting? So processing is a major challenge, and my take on processing is you don't need to be the one to do the processing. Work with people who are processing and let them produce for you. This is a model that I've worked in different parts of the world. So don't be the one that wants to do the processing yourself. Let other people do the processing. And that's happening everywhere in the world. So it's not a big deal that you want someone to help you with the processing. I think it's just wise for someone to do the processing. Let the people who spend their time processing do the processing. I told you we export pap, we export bean flour, and a number of other products. We don't have a factory, we don't process, but we work with people who are processors. This is what they do every day, so we just focus on looking for buyers. And that's what you can do on a paid employment. Just spend time online looking for buyers. I talk about some of the things you can, for those that are just joining us for the first time today, if you check on my timeline the video of yesterday evening, I talk about some of the strategies of looking for buyers, of getting buyers abroad. So just spend time online looking for buyers. A deployer is looking for buyers, and let someone else worry about the product. Do you know that some of the importers in Nigeria, they are not the one, you know, let me give you an example. If you see a battery in Nigeria, for example, this is a battery in Nigeria. This battery you are seeing in Nigeria, you go to a market where they sell battery. There you have like 3, 4, 5 batteries. Now, can you imagine? There is someone here, Samuel Abiodun Ojo. I guess Samuel Abiodun Ojo is from Australia. And do you know what he's saying? He said there are buyers in Australia. There are buyers in Australia. Thank you very much, Samuel. I know there are buyers. The challenge of our people is being able to get the quality right. Getting the quality right. So that at the end of the day, the product gets to those destinations, and then they are able to they are able to place order more, and the business grow, not just doing it once and then you are unable to do it again. So getting buyers. Now, let me come back to where I was about battery. So you see a battery, 5 battery sellers in a supermarket. The same battery, all the batteries are produced by one person in China. But if you check the body, you see ABC Limited, XYZ Limited, MNY Limited, OSP Limited, different company on the name of the battery. But the manufacturer is the same person. They are just branding in different ways. And that's what I'm recommending for us to grow export in Nigeria. That you don't need to be the producer, work to the producer, partner with the producer, you buy from him, let him produce in your own brand, and then you ship it to a country. And that's very important. Very, very important. Processing. Promotion. Promotion is that's what you should spend more time doing, really. Promoting your product. Getting people to know about the product. And the beauty of social media today is it can help you. Now, Samuel is saying cashew nut is highly needed here. Now, Samuel, please let us know. Cashew nut, processed or unprocessed? I know it should be processed. Cashew nut, processed or unprocessed? So, if you are listening to me, someone in Australia is already telling us that cashew nut is needed in Australia. And this is just telling you how we can partner with Nigerians in other part of the world to be able to grow exports in Nigeria. Because here is someone listening in Australia telling us there is cashew nut in Australia, requirements in Australia. I'm sure it's going to be processed cashew nut that someone is looking at. Processed, thank you very much. Processed cashew nut. So now, let me use that processed cashew nut for example. There are people that process cashew nut in Nigeria. I don't need to be the one processing that cashew nut. What I need to do is to look for people processed cashew nut who will remove the shell, roast it, and package it. Now, what I can now do is to do my own packaging for that processor to produce for me, and I can be exporting it to Australia just the way someone is telling us here on Facebook Live. And that's just telling you how interesting this thing is. The fact that this is very possible, this can be done, we can form this kind of league that can make it a lot easier for us to be able to grow this economy by export. I've said it severally. Think of economy doing well, they are exporting the economy. Just think of any economy doing well, they are exporting the economy. Think of a developed nation, they are exporting the economy. Why? Because exporting is much more than just making money. It contributes significantly to the growth of a nation. Contributes significantly to the growth of a nation. Now, so how do we solve this problem? How do we solve this problem? How do we solve the problem of all the problems I've talked about? I'm trying to go through my slide to be able to talk about some of those problems and what I think we can do to solve it. Now, there are challenges in exporting. There are challenges of exporting. Now, with those challenges of exporting in Nigeria, fixing them is going to take some skills. The first thing I will tell you is, if you're going to overcome the challenge of export, you must avoid starting a business that is at variance with your area of gifting and passion. Now, if you are not passionate about the business, you won't grow it. If there is no attachment to it, you won't be able to grow it. When you face with a challenge, you will drop it. You must export items that have something to do with your passion. For example, if you're a lady, you are listening to me, and you like a particular kind of food, or you like cooking, or you like processing, then you want to focus on that. If you are a fashion person, you want to focus on that. Ensure that whatever it is you want to export is something you have emotional attachment to. It's something you love to do. It's something you enjoy to do. If you don't love to do, if you don't enjoy it, then you really cannot do well exporting it. You really cannot do well exporting it. Why? Because there will be challenges along the line. All those problems we've seen are going to discourage you. So if you don't avoid doing things that is at variance with your passions and gifting, you are not going to be able to pull through. And that's my concern about people coming just to do business for the sake of just making money. In my opinion, doing business is more than making money. One of the essence is to be profitable, no doubt about it. But if that's the only reason, you are going to be jumping from one business to the other. You know, I've been doing this now for close to 10 years. And sometimes someone will call me, maybe someone that knew me when I was in the bank, and they will call and say, hello, Dele, are you still in that business? Maybe he knew me 5 years ago. You know why he's saying that? Because he probably, the last year, have done 5 businesses. So he keeps jumping and jumping and jumping and jumping and jumping. And it's been said that rolling stone gather no moss. And you know, it's so painful when someone is doing a business and run away from it to do something else. You know, the pain for me is all the experiences he has gathered, he will throw it into the trash and go and start afresh. It's very unwise. That's why you must take time to take a decision on what you want to do. Ikechukwu said, sir, I'm finding this lecture interesting as I'm interested individual how do I start rather? Is it possible to partner with you to start? I mean, partnering with us is very easy. Just ensure you have a product. Then we'll be able to work with you. Have a product, a finished product we can advise you on, and then we can work with you to look for buyers abroad. We have people who are willing to take some products from Nigeria. So we are willing to work with you, Ikechukwu. Now, so I was talking about the fact that having a product, exporting a product, having a product in synchrony with your person is very important. Sorry, let me take another question. I'm into food processing and packaging, and I think I need your guide or guidance and mentoring from your firm. How do I go about it? Just let me call a number. Let me call a number right now. You can call that number 009 124 4449. That's Fumilola Oshifowora. 0809 124 4449. 0809 124 4449. We have a mentoring program for people that are processing actually. So we'll really we'll gladly work with you. For people that are processing, we don't charge them mentoring fee. They only pick up a pack of DVD and book to go and read. When they finish reading it, then they come back to the office, we start the mentoring process. And that's all the cost they incur. And because we find a way of encouraging the people to be able to, our mentoring fee is a bit high, and we do that for commodity, but now we're trying to drop the idea of commodity and focus on finished product, and we're not charging any fee for mentoring for finished product, just to get more people into that space, so that many people begin to export their item. So please call that number 009-124-4449, and then you'll be able to get, my colleague will receive the call and tell you what to do. You can book an appointment, and then we can meet to discuss further. So avoid starting a business that is at variance with your gifting and passion. Number 2, build a business for the future, not just an investment channel. Build a business for the future, not just an investment channel. You know, a lot of people just want to invest. They don't want to do the business. If you want to just invest, then partner with someone that will run the business. If you really want to go into export, you must think of this business many years down the line. You know why? Export is a very, very serious business. It's knowledge intensive. You must know exactly what you're doing. You must be able to anticipate the risk and overcome the challenges. It's also a very profitable business. It's a business that in fact can put your brand on the global scene. For me, your brand being on the global scene is not just about your brand, it's about you, it's about Nigeria, it's about Africa. The day we begin to do a lot of finished product export from Africa, the world will take us more seriously. Currently, they don't take us seriously because our contribution to the world's GDP the contribution to the total export volume in the world is very low. Why? Because our focus is only on commodities. And commodities don't have value. Finished products have value. So ensure you are building a business for the future. And this is very important. So that means you must have a great vision for the business. Future objective for the business. So that at the end of the day, you don't get discouraged because of a challenge that you face in the business. If you have a long-term view, current challenges will not be a major issue for you because you know that you're going to face challenge now. That's why you're having a long-term view for the business. Have a long-term view for the business. Don't look at it in the short term. Please look at it in the long term. Someone said, please, sir, I know you just answered my question now, but I couldn't get you clearly because my network was having challenges. Please, can you answer by sending? Okay, you can chat me privately on Facebook Messenger later, Ikechukwu, and then I will respond to your question. Just drop the question on Facebook Messenger and I will respond to you if you are not hearing me very clearly. Crave for knowledge. Number 3, crave for knowledge in the business. Remember, we are talking about overcoming the challenges of export business. Crave for knowledge in the business. Let me tell you what knowledge does for you. For anything you want to do, ensure that you crave for knowledge in the business. Knowledge give you light. 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 Knowledge gives you light. Knowledge gives you. I'm emphasizing it for you to understand how vital knowledge is. Knowledge gives you light. Light makes it easier to progress and to make decisions. Light makes it easier to walk and not be stumbled and take the right decision. Light makes it easier to walk and not hit your leg and not get stumbled and not fall and then make the right decision in the direction to go. So number 3, in solving problem of export, get knowledge. Knowledge gives light. Knowledge gives light. Knowledge gives light. Fumilola Oshifowora, have your mail be responded to? Please copy Trade Academy at 3TimpEx in your mail. Trade Academy at 3TimpEx in your mail. If your name has not been attended to, copy Trade Academy at 3TimpEx in your mail. Knowledge gives light. Light helps you to make decisions. What you cannot do, especially for international trade, is to joke with knowledge. Let me tell you why. You know, in international trade, you're actually dealing with different countries. So at every point in time, different countries take decisions, regulation issues. In fact, there are bodies in the world that coordinate the drafting of rules that guide international trade. There are rules that guide international trade in the world. There is a body called the International Chamber of Commerce. International Chamber of Commerce have committees that draft rules. So Nigeria is a member. Over 150 countries are members. And they meet regularly to agree on how we want to trade in the world. And they draft rules. And this rule change from time to time. And you need to know about this rule. One of the rules is called Incoterms. Another one is called UCP 600. Another one is called ISP 98. Another one is called URDG. There's so many rules depending on the nature of the transaction you want to do. So now, having a good understanding of that rule becomes extremely important for your business success. That's why I said, crave for more knowledge in the business. That's why many people don't want to do the business, and the few that are able to do it and understand how to do it are able to thrive in it. There are rules that guide international trade. What you need to do is to ensure that you learn about it. And that's what we do actually. One of the things we do as a business is to train. We have different trade certifications in international trade. And if you are listening to me, you are looking for career change, really. International trade is something you can consider. There are so many areas of international trade you can consider. So it's not just about export, it's not just about import. You can be a consultant. If you're a lawyer, you're listening to me, you can become a trade lawyer. Do you know in Nigeria there are very few trade lawyers? Because of the knowledge intensiveness of trade, it becomes easier to be able to create careers, great career out of trade. So beyond exporting, there's so many other opportunities in international trade. Because it's a knowledge intensive business, you can create business around the knowledge area. You can be a trade finance expert. You can be a trade consultant. You can be a broker, just connecting buyer to seller. Just a broker. You can be an importer, you can be an exporter. So whatever it is you want to do in trade, what I would recommend is you can consider Certified Basic Trade Professional. Certified Basic Trade Professional. This is a program from the American Institute of Extended Studies, and we are representing them in Nigeria to conduct those tutorial for those exams in Nigeria, and of course to help them also consult the exam, because we are a center for the Americans of Extended Study in Nigeria. So trade is knowledge intensive. So one thing you must do to overcome the challenge is to be able to acquire knowledge. Remember, we're discussing the problems of transiting from paid employment to self-employment in export business. And we're saying there are challenges. I've listed a number of the challenges this morning. And what I'm trying to do, I'll be spending today to do in the morning, and also in the evening today, I'll be taking some of these solutions one by one. Knowledge. Then the next one is delayed gratification. Delayed gratification. Delayed gratification. Delayed gratification. Delayed gratification to build your capital. Delayed gratification to build your capital. It's extremely important you learn to delay gratification in order to be able to build your capital. It's very important you learn to delay gratification in order to be able to build your capital. If there is one thing a lot of businesses have issue with, is inability to be able to delay gratification. And that's where vision comes in. That's where the future objective comes in. If you have a future objective for this business, if you have a long-term view for this business, you will delay gratification. You want to use the money you are making to grow the business, to expand the business, to grow the opportunities in the business, to look for other. For example, you start exporting to UK, you are making so much money. What stops you from extending to Germany, from extending to US? You know, the whole world is your market. So why stop with UK? Why stop with US? Why stop with China? So delay gratification so you'll be able to grow and expand the business. Use the money you are making, invest it back in the business to be able to grow it. What that does for you is it enhances your capacity. It enhances your capacity. So when there are challenges, a business that has capacity is able to weather the storm of challenges. Because when there are challenges, challenges make you to lose money. So, but when you have been able to build your capital, even though you lose some money, but because you have built your capital, it helps you to be able to, you have cushion effect. You have cushion effect. Let me give you an example. Currently, many people are unable to ship on time in Nigeria because of delay going to the port. So they have to now be using barge to move it on the water, on lagoon, to get to the port. Because they are using barge, they are incurring more cost. Now, so when they are trying to overcome that challenge, they incur more cost. But if you have built solid capital base, it becomes easier to cushion those effects and grow your volume. Because you are not going to take advantage of the fact that many people are not able to ship, and then you are able to increase the volume of your shipment because you have found a solution to that challenge. And that is the beauty of delaying gratification. Then endeavor you have someone to assist, to guide as a mentor. Endeavor you have someone to assist, to guide as a mentor. If you are going to overcome the challenges, look for someone in the business that you can work with. There are a lot of people in the business. Of course, not everybody will agree to work with you, to mentor you. That's okay. There's no problem. But what I can assure you is that there are people out there that can assist. At least we are helping people in export. So there are many people out there that can assist. If you go to any PCO, you'll be able to get some people that will be able to assist. If you join Chamber, you'll be able to get people that will be able to assist. That's why you look for network. Don't be alone. So you'll be able to overcome the challenges of exporting. So we've talked about overcoming some of the challenges. I have about over 20 ways to solve the problem, to overcome the problem you face in export. So please, as much as possible, try to be able to imbibe some of this opportunity, imbibe some of this profile solution rather, to be able to take advantage of the opportunities in export business. Remember, we come up in the morning, 8 a.m., and in the evening, 6 p.m. It's called the Import-Export Platform, and currently we are discussing transiting from paid employment to self-employment. If you have any question, please, you can chat me privately or you drop it down. Let me check some of the comments. Sir, you just hammer now. I'm a lawyer and we have discussed this at the program before. He said, find a place as a lawyer in international trade. Okay. Now, if you're a lawyer and you want to find a place, look, if you're a lawyer or you have a friend that's lawyer, sincerely, you know, a lot of lawyers in Nigeria don't specialize. There's an area in Nigeria that, for example, I understand when there are cases, legal cases in Nigeria that involve critical trade issue, sometimes the judge supine or subpoena, I hope I'm pronouncing very well for the lawyer, subpoena people from CBN to come and educate the court before the court can take a decision. Because there are not enough trade lawyers in Nigeria. So if you're a lawyer, one thing you want to learn is to get certification in trade. So you can understand the trade rules and couple it with your legal knowledge as a Nigerian lawyer. Then you become hot cake as far as those cases are concerned. If you do that and you are very sound, you're a lawyer, you're very sound, what you can then do is to write proposals to banks to be able to handle their legal issues for trade. And you put your certifications on those proposals, telling them, look, I'm a lawyer and I'm a certified trade specialist. So what that does for them is it gives them comfort that, look, this guy can handle our trade cases because he's a certified trade lawyer. He's a lawyer and have trade knowledge. So please, you want to join there are a number of certifications I would recommend for you. Certified Basic Trade Professional, Certified Intermediate Trade Professional, and Certified Advanced Trade Professional. These three certifications are from the American Institute of Extended Studies. American Institute of Extended Studies. And then you will be able to learn, understand trade issues, legal issues around trade, rules around trade, and then it becomes easier for you to be able to handle trade cases, especially for banks. A lot of banks have trade issues, legal issues around trade, and that might be able to help you. I'm sure I'll be able to answer Ikechiku's question. Someone else asked question. Fumi Oshifora said, I called the number already yesterday and I was told to send a mail. So Fumi Oshifora, please let me know if they have responded to your call, to your mail. If they have not responded, please chat me privately and I will discuss with my colleague to ensure they respond to it today. Someone else said, I'm into food processing and packaging and I think I need a guide. How do I go about it? I already got NAFDAC. Fumi, since you already got NAFDAC, you have overcome one of the major challenges, regulation. One of the major challenges. Like I said, maybe what you can do later on to send me some of the pictures on Facebook Messenger. Chat me on Facebook Messenger, really. Let me give you my number and let's take it up from there. I would really love to see the picture of your product and probably send sample to our partners in the UK. Olaleko Kazim said, God bless you, keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Ishola David said, okay, keep up the good work. NGBN, Nigeria Business Group. Okay, Nigeria Business Group Nigeria, talking to NASME in Lagos to make the proposed training for SME a reality. Okay. I think we've discussed issue of training before with Mr. Ishola David. Okay, I'll be waiting to hear from you on the training for NASME and SMEs in Lagos. Any other question? Okay, Samuel Abiodun Ojo initially dropped a message. So if you are listening to me and you are interested in exporting processed cashew nut, please don't hesitate to contact Samuel Abiodun Ojo. Samuel Abiodun Ojo he lives in Australia, he's a Nigerian, lives in Australia, and he just dropped on this group now that there are a lot of demand for processed cashew nut in Australia. And this is why I've said, and I've said severally, that one of the ways we can grow export in Nigeria is to partner with Nigerians in diaspora. Partnering with Nigeria in diaspora can be a very viable way for us to grow the export business. All right, thank you very much for all that have logged in today. My name remains Dele Ayemibo. We'll continue the conversation in the evening. Bye for now.